Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. We have lots and lots and lots of things to talk about today, lots of things to celebrate. Some not so great things, but we're going to make a good spin on this. So, thank you all so much for being here with me. Let me go ahead and I want to just jump in and just say hey to some of you all because you've been waiting here for so long. Brett's mom, thank you so much for being there. She's saying, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and all my dear Yarnies. Off to Farmer's Market to be back in time for the live. Please, friends, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for that reminder. Linda, you're so good about that. And Marie, my good friend from South Carolina, good to see you in the chat. And love to craft, waving right back at you. And Angie, good morning to you. And Miss Wanda, thank you for your prayers and your care for us, my friend. And Denise, good to see you in the chat as well. Wishing everyone a great day. And Red Hooked, it's good to see you as well. She says, looking forward to seeing the new Christmas throw. Yeah, I'm going to share that to you sooner rather than later. I promise. I'm not going to hold that for the end of the hour. I'm gonna be doing that soon, but I have some other things I want to cover first. But I definitely will show you that soon. And hello, is that Glennie's from North Wales? Wow, welcome, welcome. I haven't been to Wales. I have been to England, but not to Wales, but I would like to get there someday. My sister has been there a couple of times and just loves, loves, loves your homeland there. And Cynthia, so good to have you in the chat. She says, happy Friday, Bonnie and all, making lots of progress on the Celtic braided sweater, and I'm loving it. Yay. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And Sue, good morning to you. And Sandra Harper, I just had a bunch of things jump. Hold on one second. Let me find my place. Sandra's joining us from a beautiful, cool Southern California. Wonderful. And we are having delightful weather here in Maryland, really enjoying the cooler temps. And Kim W., good morning to you. Happy Friday. And Julie and Karen and Barbara from Alaska. She says crocheting cables, pumpkins, and quilting and machine embroidery. Pure delight. I know Barbara works very hard when you have good weather, and so she was working just so hard indoors. She's such a multi-talented person. It's pretty amazing to have friends like you all. And Becky, thank you for being there. She's our administrator this morning until Hannah's able to get back. Hannah's busy serving the family, and Becky is visiting, right? Visiting with them as well. So and enjoying the grandson. All right, let me go ahead and pull up. I'm going to pull up your email, your text. So in case you need to text anything to me, just let me know. And Wanda, good morning. Thank you for welcoming Becky on board. And Patty, she says TGIF. Yes, I agree. Oh my goodness. What is this? Heather, thank you so much. Heather just donated $50 to the super chat. Thank you. That is so incredibly generous. Let me go ahead and write that. Where am I? Okay, here we go. I wanted to write that in. Let me go ahead and put that into our kitty. This is going to be going to Rancho 3M this time around. So that brings us up to $70. That brought us up fast. So thank you so much, Heather. For those of you who don't know what we do, if you're new to the live, I guess you could say I'm a little bit of a frustrated musician because that was my initial course of study when I was in school. And so whenever we get up to the $100 point on the donations for through the super chat, I try to come up with, or I pull out an old crochet parody song or some music of some sort. If it's Christmas time, you're going to hear Christmas music somehow. So just as a thank you to you all for your generosity, and that money, 100% of it goes to the designated charity that we'll be talking about. This time it will be the Rancho 3M, which is it's a Christian children's school and orphanage in Juarez. It's in a very, very poor border town in Mexico. And my daughter Becky and I have been there. We've seen the place. We spent a week on the compound. So know the needs, know that it's genuine. And we also support Shriners Children's Hospital for Children, um, and some others as well. So at this time, the next donation will be going to the Rancho 3M. And if you're interested in finding out about that, look it up online. It's just Rancho 3M, as in um, Mike M. And yeah, you can check it out and see what they're all about. All right. So Callie, welcome to you. And I Crochet Sonia West. She says, hi, waiting on Paw bread to finish baking. Wow. Why my nose is itching this morning. Sorry about that. No, shouldn't be touching it. Wow. Well, that sounds delicious. Bread of any kind sounds wonderful to me. um, and I'm not going to read the name of this next, but what the heck, I'll say. So happy to be here in the middle of the Celtic sweater. Loving it. Well, I'm so glad you enjoy that. I enjoy designing these, and you're very much welcome. Glad to see you in the chat. And Love to Craft is great to have you here. She says, glad to be here. And Beth, good to see you, my friend. Um, Hope you're doing well. Please give Terry my greetings as well. And Guy Gone Bible. Okay, Bobby, I know that's you. She says, hi, have to wear a heart monitor for a month. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess that's what you get going in and out of these hospitals, my friend. I can kid with Bobby. He is a good friend of mine, but I am praying for you, Bobby. You are on my prayer list continually. So just you know what to do there. And yeah, I've seen the heart monitors. I know my mother-in-law and my husband have had to do that from time to time. So just hang with it. It won't last forever. And we have hold on. I just lost my place again, as usual. A lot of things just enter and my page completely changes, and I just want to make sure that I don't miss anybody. We have Anne Marie from um, Lancashire, if I'm saying that right. Welcome, welcome. And Veronica, glad to have you from Columbus, Ohio. And Wendy, she says, love the far away on the hill, making it now. Oh, thank you, Wendy. That was actually one of my favorites to design. And I put it off for a long time. I just wanted it to be just right, you know. I'm not sure that I nailed it or not, but it was just, I'm glad you like it. It's such a meaningful throw to me. I wanted it to mean something to others as well. And Betty, great to have you with us. And MJ Busy One Michelle, good morning, all. Says have my yarn gathered to start Celtic braided blanket soon. Wow, 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 wow. Send me your pictures, guys. As you know, I love sharing your photos. You are my best social media post ever because it shows people that this is doable, that this is something that is accessible to anybody who wants to give it a try. So thank you all who send me your photos. And I always ask for permission before reposting in case some of you are wondering, because I know sometimes they're a special gift and you don't want your friends to see it online. I totally get that. Or if you just want to be anonymous, that's fine. But I just let you know, I don't share without your permission. I always want to have that going forward. Um, And Heather says, good morning, Bonnie and everyone. I enjoyed the Zoom class yesterday, Bonnie. Thanks for holding these classes. Oh, my pleasure. Well, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about that. We'll start there, and then we'll go into some of the things on my list here. Yesterday, we had another Zoom class. This is with my watch subscribers, and these tend to be on the smaller side, just in case some of you think that joining these classes mean you're going to be joining 50 other people. It's much smaller than that, much more intimate than that, for the most part. And yesterday, we did a 2-hour version of the 4 ways to crochet the traditional granny square. The class went really fast because the people attending were just so smart and so skilled. So I didn't have to spend a lot of time on it, but it's always a delight to just hang with you guys, to just be able to interact and see how everybody's doing. There is a new class coming for October. I'm tentatively scheduling this for October 10th, I believe. It's a Thursday. And I'm not settled on the time yet. I'm not sure if I want to do this in the evening or if I want to do this in the afternoon, because I want to try to switch it up a little bit. I might actually do this as an evening class, but you know what? I may not be able to do that because of another commitment. So it may end up being another afternoon class, but it's going to be a time where I answer your questions on how to read crochet patterns and charts. I will say it's gonna lean more heavily on the actual wording of of the crochet patterns, more the verbiage than the charts. Although I am gonna talk about them a little bit, but honestly, they're so easy to read, and people who don't know how to read the worded patterns can easily read the charts, but I'm gonna try to cover both during this time. So, if you just wanna get your questions ready, watch subscribers, and plan on joining me October 10th, probably be from 2 to 4 p.m. And those of you who are not watch subscribers, you can take a look at the link in the video description. It's just watch, like WATCH bonniebaycrochet.com. And it is a paid subscriber based channel. It's kind of like my Patreon. I don't do Patreon. Um, I don't like to ask people for things, it just doesn't sit right with me. So what we've attempted to do here, and I'm not saying it's bad to have a Patreon. Don't hear me say that. I'm not saying that at all. But I just thought that I wanted to do something a little different. So what I've done is to offer um, some exclusive content on a channel that is ad free. It's spam free. I don't share your information. And you do get little perks, or actually maybe big perks, depending on how well you enjoy learning crochet designs. I have classes on there you can watch. I mean, I have enough crochet there to probably fill a lifetime already. Um, and I have it for right-handed and left-handed people, and as well as PDF patterns to the designs that I own and that I release regularly, like some of the things, like the Christmas show throw that I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. That will be a complimentary pattern. You're not going to have to buy that from somewhere. And yes, I'm going to be selling that pattern in my online stores. I don't like to give things away because I spend close to 100 hours, no joke, on a lot of these designs, taking them from idea to publication. And I'm investing in them. I'm investing not just my time, but I invest in the yarn to support indie dyers in a lot of places. I did buy the yarn for this throw that I'm going to show you. I bought the yarn for the scarf that I'm wearing. And I also pay my editors for closed captions, for a variety of things. So it's what I do for a business. I'm going way too much on that. I know you understand that, but I think it's a value if you're interested. So you can check it out at $7.95 a month or $79.50 a year, and yeah, so you can check that out at the link when you get a chance. And that's how you can be a part of these Zoom classes, which are no extra cost. It's just complimentary as well. And they're about once a month. I might ramp it up to a little more often than that once the weather gets bad and people get back into crocheting more. All right. So now I have some really, really good news. Um, this book is celebrating, would you believe, its 10th anniversary? This has been in publication for 10 years as of September. So that's just really amazing to me, because I remember the days when I was just dreaming of maybe writing a book. Full size, this is a full size book. It has 24 cable designs in it. I did not have a YouTube channel like I do now when this, well, I had a channel, but was not publishing really anything on it. Nobody was watching YouTube back in 2014, or not many people. You probably didn't even know what it was back then. It was just something kids put up funny videos on at the time. But now it's become just a great way to learn a lot of things. And I have gone back and I have put several of the designs in this book onto my YouTube channel. So what you can do if you're looking for any designs from this book, you need to go to playlist and then just look for the little thumbnail that looks like this book cover, and it'll have the playlist of the different designs, not all of them, but a lot of the designs that are in this book. So I'll go ahead and put that right back there. So thank you all for your support and helping to keep this in publication for 10 years. Even during that time, it's not been a smooth ride, because during that time, the original publisher of the book actually went into bankruptcy. And then this title and the other title that I did with Interweave was picked up by Penguin Random House. So they are now the legitimate owners of this design, or of the book and of the material. And that's why if you look at the designs that I did recordings for in that book on the watch channel, you're not going to find the PDF for them, because I like to honor my contracts and I don't own the actual copyright on those particular designs, because it was sold to the publisher, if that makes sense. So, all right. Oh, thank you, Becky. Oh my goodness. So while I was talking here, Patty Burgess, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. $20 for the super chat. I so appreciate that. That is amazing. Thank you so much, Patty. And Archer and Ace, Terry, thank you so much. So guys, that just adds $30 more. So that looks like I am singing next week. Let me look at the total again. Yep. That brings us to 100. Oh my goodness, that was fast. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, all of you. Heather, I'm sorry. Yeah, Heather, Terry, and Patty, thank you so much. That brings us up to $100. That was fast. So I will come up with something next week. If you remember one that you want me to do again, let me know. So anyway, thank you, Becky, for letting me know that. And Stephanie, really? Oh my goodness. And Stephanie, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. Every little bit definitely counts. I appreciate that. Let me add that to I'm doing my little business thing here so that I don't forget, because I don't remember all these details. I am a creative, which means you don't want me to run the world anytime soon. But I'll try to make my part of the world pretty. That's kind of what we do. We're not to run everything, but we try to do our best. Okay, so I have something a little bit serious to talk about. And as I talk about this, this is not directed at you. Please hear me. This is not directed at you, the faithful who know nothing but encouraging and kindness and doing the right thing. But this week I was confronted with another thing, and it was on Etsy, but this is not Etsy's fault, because this happens anywhere, everywhere. Okay. It happens on Ravelry. It happens on, I'm sure other sites too. So I don't want to get into this let's hate on Etsy thing. I don't want to do that, because I think it's unfair. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. However, I was looking up, trying to get a link to answer someone's question online. No. I was making my newsletter. I was getting my newsletter together, and I wanted to get a link for a particular design. And I was looking it up, and I stumbled upon somebody else selling a design that I designed for Crochet World magazine maybe 10 years ago, and selling the pattern. And I'm like, they don't have the right to do that. I don't even have the right to do that, because I sold the copyright to Crochet World, or to the organization Annie's, who owns Crochet World magazine. And once I signed my name saying, I'm selling this to you, I have no claim to it. Well, this person, and I did report this to Annie's, and I did confront the person, who may have already taken it down. I think because I scared her a little bit. him or her, whatever it is. Don't they were hiding behind a pseudonym on the name of their site, and just wanted to alert you all that, again, I don't think this was Etsy's fault. I think this is the seller's fault. It's the heart of the seller in this case. And I'll tell you why. Because when you upload patterns to sell on these sites, especially on Etsy, they're going to ask you who made it or who designed it. They're going to ask you who, are you the author, or did this originate with you? And in order for it to be listed as your design, you have to say, yes, this is mine. I made this. I designed this, whatever. And that's what this person did in order to upload it to Etsy. So all that to say, they had to steal the pattern for one thing, and then they had to lie about it. And I can't blame Etsy for someone who's doing this, if that makes sense, because um, they are understandably a very large international organization, and nobody has the personnel to go around monitoring everybody's minds and hearts. Nobody can do that. And then it's a lot of work to verify these things. And so to some extent, Lovecrafts is the same way. They really depend upon your honesty here, and Ravelry and all the rest. They depend upon you telling the truth. Um, and I'll tell you, the reason I'm telling you all this is I'm just kind of going to say, just please, just be careful of yourself, because there are scammers out there. And if they're going to lie about my something I did, what's to keep them from lying or stealing in another way from you? So I just, all this to say is that when you go to a site and you're supporting people like me, the designers out there, and this not just to crochet, it's also with knitting, it's with drawing. There's a lot of different artists out there. Um, be sure that it's the link from them. Be sure that it's their site, or somehow be able to verify that you're dealing with the person you want to deal with, and not with a third party who's just trying to steal or lie. I don't have a fancier way to say it. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to, it wouldn't help to go into fancy speech about this. This is just very basic. Even a kindergartner can understand what I'm saying. So these kind of sellers really do hurt a lot of creators on Etsy, and they hurt a lot of creators everywhere. But another thing about, I know there's a big movement to boycott Etsy, and I know people have told me, "Well, I don't buy anything from Etsy." Well, that's your choice. I mean, it's free. This is a free world. Well, at least part that I live in is free, for now, and you can make your decisions, and that's fine. I honor either way. But the reason why I'm a little concerned about people wanting to just totally boycott Etsy is there are a lot of good sellers on there. There are a lot of good creators who built up shops over many, many years of faithful work and labor. Yeah, there are a lot of shops on there that shouldn't be there. I totally agree. But I'm just saying that to say, oh, just get your black highlighter out and mark it off your list completely. That could potentially hurt a lot of people who are just trying to be honest and just trying to make an honest living at this. So my bottom line is just verify the sites before you purchase things like that. I mean, I'm sure you're already doing that anyway. If you're going to be giving them your credit card information, you want to be sure that it's who you want to deal with. And that's all I want to say. I went on way too long about that. So that's the bad news. Um, but again, the good news is it's being dealt with. And I was able to even challenge this person on a spiritual level. Yeah, I did. And just say, well, you're getting away with it now, but there's going to be a day where you will be held accountable. And that goes for all of us. I mean, and I know if it wasn't for the Lord Jesus and his covering on all that I've done that I'm not proud of, I would have great reasons to fear that day as well. But I don't, because I'm trusting in something else. But anyway, not trying to be super preachy about that, but was able to share with this person and just say, hey, I'm going to pray for you. And I did add this person to my prayer list. I I don't know this person's name because they never revealed it, always working behind a pseudonym. But I just, God knows who the theft on Etsy is. And I'm praying that this person will change. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Now on to some really good stuff here. Let me get back to the chat. Okay. So anyway, didn't mean to go off on that, but just so that I'm not delaying any further, I want to show you the Christmas throw. Okay. I'm not going to have the best photo, and it may look a little orangey in here, but it's really red, just the way the light bounces around, because red is a really hard color. I want to show you my throw. I'm calling this Bonnie's Christmas. Yeah, I'm going to use the forbidden word, Christmas cabled throw. And this, I'm labeling this as an intermediate to advanced. Okay. So here we go. This is the throw. It's repeating the same basic cables. And let me explain what I've done here. Okay. This is an even larger honeycomb cable, and I'm using a 5-stitch cable. I'm putting the half double in between the 4-post cable. So I'm calling this a 5-stitch cable down the middle. So, I just kind of envisioned it looking kind of like a Christmas ornament on a tree, but something that can also be used really any time of the year. If you don't want this for Christmas, maybe you want it to be blue for Hanukkah. I don't know. Or maybe just a neutral white or champagne color. But anyway, I just wanted this to be able to be really for Christmas if you wanted it for Christmas, but for any other time of the year as well. I wanted it to be versatile. And this is where I had a little bit of fun. This cable here, do you see this? And so what we have here is an elongated cable. I'm calling this my twisted elongated cable in the written pattern. And this is a 4-post cable that is twisting as it also crosses with the other arm. Do you see that all the way down? So just something to add a little interest. And I think you may enjoy this. I hope you do. So that is kind of my big reveal. It's so hard to give you the view that I'd really like, but I will have some photos coming very soon. And I'm hoping to make this an early October release. So I'm shooting for the first week in October. And we'll see if I get to that deadline. That's just in a couple weeks. Well, it's first or second. Okay. I'm going to give myself a little grace there. First or second week in October, this will be released. It will be on both the Watch channel and on the YouTube channel. It'll have both right and left-handed videos for both channels. And of course, the pattern for my watch supporters, my watch subscribers will be complimentary. All right. So that is the throw. And I'm really, really excited about this one. And there are more coming. There are more coming, I promise. And let me show you one more thing that will be coming sooner to the channel. I didn't get a chance to put the beads on. Let me show you. This is some cables, twisted cables with beads added in. This is very much like the Celtic braided sweater, or the Celtic weave sweater. Okay, so this is an asymmetrical cardigan. And so this beaded section will be on this section of the cardigan. Okay, so that's an asymmetrical. So it opens from the side, which what you can do is you can use, a brooch or a pin or something, and to fasten this closed if you'd like. And let me show you the back side. It's mostly elongated cables with a little bit of a flare at the end. And the sleeves, to again feature the elongated cable down each sleeve. This was in my book, Celtic Cable Crochet. I don't have the book here. I brought it, excuse me, into the other room, so I can't show you that one. But it is a design in the Celtic Cable book, the brown covered book with the gal with the poncho on the front. So this video is complete, um, and I'll be releasing this very soon. Maybe even on Monday. I had a lot of people ask me. It's called the Binne, Binne cardigan. In the book, and again, the pattern is only available in Celtic Cable Crochet book. Um, I'm not trying to force you to buy the books, but if you want the pattern, you kind of have to do that, because I designed this, and again, one of the designs that was sold, and I do show the large size. So if you want the numbers for the other sizes, you're going to have to consult the written book, for the pattern. So there's no other way around it. Otherwise, we would be swimming, absolutely swimming in untold number of numbers, and it would get so confusing and so boring so fast. And I do talk about reading the pattern. I do spend some time showing you how you can highlight the size, and I know that reading patterns that have been sized to different sizes can be a nightmare in some cases, and this one no exception. So I did take time to try to explain how each of these work as I go through the pattern, hoping that that would be helpful. And that actually might be something that we will talk about in the Watch Zoom class on reading crochet patterns. Because once you learn how to read the crochet patterns, then the world is at your disposal as far as as far as crochet and really knit too, crochet designs, knit designs, whatever. All right. Well, let me get back to greeting you all. I have left you all far behind here. All right. Trying to find out where I was. Good morning, Stephanie and Betty. And again, Becky, thanks for being there. And Tammy, welcome, welcome. And again, Heather, thank you so much. And Terry and everybody who gave, thank you so much for your generosity. So appreciate that. And Freaky Geek is in the chat. She says, I wonder how that would work up with a red, green, and white variegated yarn. Ah, that is a good question. Let me go back to that. Okay. Freaky Geek is asking, how about this in a variegated yarn? I think this is one I would say stick to solid. And I would say stick to a medium to light. I wouldn't go any darker than this. Or maybe just a tad darker if you wanted just a darker, richer colored red would be fine. But I would stay away from black, and I would stay away from color changing yarns. Just trust me on that. And if you ever wonder why, you can check out Noelle Stiles' book on colorful cables, the one that I showed a couple weeks ago, or it's been a few weeks now, but Noelle Stiles, you can learn all about her and her book. There's another video on my channel. Check it out if you can. But I definitely would stay away from color changing yarn for this one. Just, I think it would take away from, excuse me, take away from the design in general. I think it would be very confusing on, learning these new cables. And I just think there would be too much going on. It would just be really hard to look at. All right. All right, I'm still backing up here to get to where I should be. And again, Patty, thank you so much. And Stephanie, wow, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you. You guys are just so sweet. I'm going way back to the beginning, just about, it looks like. All right. We have Carmelita, wanted to wave at you, and good morning, DL Crisp. She says, just finishing the crocheted harvest hat. I love autumn. I do too. I think it's my favorite time of the year. I love what each season has in store for us. I love the flowers of spring. I love driving out in the sunshine, in my Miata in the summertime when it's not too hot. I absolutely adore the fall for the same reason and for the change in the weather, and I love the snow in the wintertime, but the fall, yeah, the fall just makes me feel good all over. Um, and Patty wants to know, how do we donate here? Um, I'm not really sure. Well, actually, if you look at the bottom of the chat, there'll be a little dollar sign thing, Patty. I mean, I'm not soliciting that in any way, but I think it's at the bottom where you sign in at the chat. It's to the right, next to the emojis. Um, hey, okay, Beth is telling me Terry is right here. Hey, Terry, so miss seeing you gals this in Pittsburgh, but maybe next year. And Esther, hey, it's good to have you. She says just stopping by. Um, oh, thank you for clarifying that for her, Becky. And Jody says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and all watching. I hope you are all having a wonderful day and the Lord is blessing you. Yes, He is. Prayer request from my mom, Jenny, for Alzheimer's, and now she has gotten mean and nasty. You know what? I know what that looks like, Jody. Um, Becky, can you make a note of that for me, um, for when the time is over, if you don't mind, or just put it in the text messages, and I can catch that. Yeah, my children and I know what that disease looks like. We This is not bragging or anything, but we had the joy of being able to visit people in a nursing home in the special ward. I won't say where, but it was in Maryland. I used to go there weekly for about 13 years. Um, and the people there, it was a secure, secure building where you had to know the code to get in and out because of the dementia that many of them had. And yeah, we've seen a lot, but we also had just a really good time visiting with them. Making a note to pray for her mom, and if you could write her name down too for me, just so that I have just it just helps me to know that, Becky. If you could write that down and send it to me afterwards, that would be great. Um, all right. And KC says, just finished on a hill far away. Yay! Send it to me a picture. I would love to see, and I would love to share that with your permission, if it's possible. Um, thank you, Becky. Yes. Um, And the Guy Gone Bible says, thanks. It's actually not too bad. It comes with the phone. Well, good for you. Wow. I will be praying for you on that, Bobby. I will make certain to do that. Hope they don't find anything. I hope everything is fine. Or if they find something, that it's something very easily fixable. And Love to Craft says, hang in there, Guy Gone Bible, sending prayers your way. Thank you. Thank you for caring for each other in the chat. You all are fantastic. And Patty says she finished the Fergus Shrug. Yay, just in time for fall. I got that right here. In case you all don't know what the Fergus Shrug is, this is the back. Okay, this is like if you're wearing it as a shrug. And this is the Fergus Shrug from the back. A lot of fun. And if you've never made a garment before, this is a very easy one to make. Well, once you understand the cabling, but you're just making a long rectangle and then like a long rec. I'm just trying to, okay, and then close the two ends off for the arms, and that's pretty much structurally all that a shrug is, or at least this one. So very easy. You can even design your own, for that matter. Just take, the dimensions and, and just close off the arms. And then you can just do the ribbing and make those arms as long or as short as you want them to be. All right. And Robin, welcome to, she says, she, sorry, I don't want to assume, I guess I've already messed up on that already, but Robin, welcome to the chat. I'm so glad that you can join us. And Stephanie says, I have to start over on the ball morale throw. For some reason, row 8 is still wrong for me. So frog again. I'll get it one day. Thank goodness we can try over and over again. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that, Stephanie. Yeah. That's the thing. At least you're crocheting and not knitting, right? Because when I've had to redo a scarf on knitting, I've told you that story before. It was from the very first stitch all over, I think about 4 times before I finally finished that booger. It took me a while. So at least when you're ripping back and crochet, you're just doing that row. And I have to tell you a story. Now you're talking about frogging. I'm working on another shawl. This is a not an asymmetrical shawl. It's actually a symmetrical shawl, shock of shocks. And it's using a lot of Celtic weave. And I think I did the last 2 rows, which was a lot of yarn. I think I've done them like 3 times now. And it's not because it was hard. It's just because I missed 2 stitches with the Celtic weave. And of course, if you missed it at the beginning of the row and then you go all the way down and you come all the way back and you realize I missed the stitches. So you have to take it out all the way down and all the way back. I did that twice. So I'm hoping the third time is the charm. Again, just a silly mistake, talking with somebody or watching TV or riding in a car and just paying more attention to everything else than what I was doing. But it was easy to rip out, roll it up, and do it again. And Casey says, Ball Morale Throw is my next big project. Yay. And that is now available. And to let you know, if you're looking for the written pattern, it is in both my Etsy store and my Lovecraft store. But it's also going to be in a special newsstand edition of Crochet World magazine. This is not the regular editions that they mail out 4 times a year. This is going to be a special newsstand edition. It's supposed to be out the 24th. It was supposed to be available sooner with Annie's than that, but I haven't seen it on their site yet. But it's supposed to be on the newsstand by the 24th. And so today is the 13th. So about 11 more days. And that will be available. And as soon as I get some copies of that, I will definitely be doing some giveaways on that. All right. And oh, thank you, Patty. She says, I enjoyed it, but sorry I had to leave early. Not a problem. And let's see. And Patricia says, good morning, everyone. Any direction on sewing granny squares together would be appreciated. I do have a pattern called Bonnie's Granny Square Vest on the homepage. Well, not the homepage, but if you go to my homepage and just look up, just in the little search bar on my page, put in Granny Square or just Granny, and it'll bring up the Granny Square projects I've done, which have not been that many. But with the vest, you can see how I use the whip stitch using a yarn needle and yarn, and I just whip stitched those together. We talked about that yesterday in the Zoom class. And as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to be uploading that Granny Square class. And we did touch on constructing these just lightly. And I showed, I think, 3 different ways that you can connect them. So, of course, there are many other ways to do that than what I've demonstrated in my designs. So, I mean, you can always just look on YouTube in general and just see, other options that might be out there for you, Patricia. And let's see. And Patty says, I have that book and hope to crochet Gaithersburg stole at some point before I leave this world. I've got a video for that one too. That's one of my favorites. And that's actually named after my town where I live. So if y'all ever get to Gaithersburg, look me up, stop on in. Well, look me up first, make sure I'm here. And thank you all just for your donations. I'm finally running into that again. Thank you. Thank you. And let's see. Archer Renee says, that was the very first book of yours that set me on the road of Bonnie Bay magic. Now that is all I crochet. I have no need for all my other books. I go on Bonnie Bay Crochet. Oh, Terry, that's so sweet of you. But definitely check out some others as well. I mean, I know I did a lot of things I don't do, but thank you for your kind support. That means so much to me. I can kind of relate as far as that goes, because once I discovered the late Annie Oug's, Ough, so it's probably Ough. Once I discovered her works, shopping as a teenager in stores like Zare and GC Murphy and Company, they don't exist anymore, at least not in my neck of the woods. Shopping in department stores like that, dime stores, and finding her patterns after I found her Erin, no, it's Fisherman Crochet, she calls it. Finding those leaflets, I was done for. There was no turning back. And so I've just tried to build, on the legacy that she has left behind, and just kind of get those different stitches out there because there's so much fun to do, and I just love wearing that. All right. Thank you, Becky. Um, hold on a second. Okay, good question from Stephanie. Becky just sent me. It says, Miss Bonnie, question on the watch subscriber. If I pay for a year and can't afford another month or year, do I have to print all the patterns before I lose access, or how does that work? Yeah, basically you have access to everything, as long as you're a subscriber. Um, but yeah, that's kind of but the one thing about the subscribers, the way we have run the channel, because we started this a few years back and the price was lower. But what our policy has been is whatever price you sign up for, even if inflation is doing its thing, like it's doing its thing the last several years, the last few years, but whatever, whatever, whenever it goes up, your price stays the same. So I don't know if that's helpful or not, but I mean, I totally understand. I don't take it personally if people have to leave the channel. But yeah, if there's something you want to get, you probably ought to get it, before the time's out. But yeah, we are not going to raise. We probably should raise the price again this year just to try to keep up, but we're not going to. We're not going to. We're going to just leave it the way it is for now, and just hope that things pan out and settle out at some point. But thank you for sending that to me, Becky. Um, Again, thank you, Terry, for that very, very kind endorsement. And Margita, good to see you in the chat. And Felicia, she says, good afternoon, sis Bonnie and sis Hannah and everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Um, and thank you. Thank you, Terry. Just, you were so sweet. And Freaky Geek says, when they say yes to any of the questions, they should show proof how they work the pattern. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to figure that. Um, uh, and Archer Nay says, I'm so sorry we missed Pittsburgh. That's okay. We missed you. We missed you, but there will be more Pittsburghs, Terry. I trust that there will be more Pittsburghs, and there's going to be more festivals here and there and everywhere. So I've had to miss several myself. So yeah. All right. And Wendy Johnson says, what is your Etsy site? If you just go to Etsy and look up Bonnie Bay Crochet, everything, you see the name right back here, Bonnie Bay Crochet. Everything I do, I'm trying to keep it under the same branding, so to speak, just so that it's easy to identify. And if you're buying a pattern, one of my patterns, and you want to buy it from me and it doesn't say Bonnie Bay Crochet, then it's not me. And I want to also say, I want to compliment you guys so much. This last time, finding the pattern that was illegally being sold was an accident. I do not go looking for this. I don't have the time to go looking for this. I'm not a policeman on this at all. It was just an accident, and I'm like, uh-oh, that's bad. And it turned out to be the same seller that had sold another kind of bootlegged pattern. And my concern was that it's happening to many other people from that one seller. But anyway, where was I going with this? I just had a train wreck in my head. Oh yeah. So just to be sure that when you're buying from like a particular designer, make sure that it is their site that you're supporting and not, a bootlegger. That's kind of all that to say. And Patty says, oh, we have Pat from Vancouver Island. Wow. A Freaky Geek. Hannah not here today. She'll be here in a bit. She may be babysitting for somebody. And Wendy, yeah, thanks again for asking that question. And actually, there is a link to my Etsy site in the video description, and all the other things that you might want to know. And Patty says it's terrible that scamming happens like that. No integrity. I've seen it happen to other creators. It's just terrible. Yeah, It is, but you know what? The other thing that I and believe me, I wasted more time than I wanted to a couple days ago when that happened. But I also don't want them to have room, yeah, as people say now, don't want them to rent space in your head for free. So I try not to let it bother me too much. And that's where my faith in the Lord has helped me tremendously on this, just knowing that all wrongs are going to be made right. It just allows me to not like it when wrong things happen, and not just to me. And this is just a micro offense. I mean, this is a tiny little thing really in the wake of all that's happening in the world right now. But just it does help me to cope with, having peace, knowing that all things are going to be made right on that day. And so, just that's where faith just, that muscle kicks in and it's like, well, why don't we pray for this person? I mean, I don't like this person, to be honest. I don't have never met them, but I don't have to like them to pray for them or to love them. So in that way. So that's I know that sounds contradictory. It probably is, but anyway, I probably don't want to spend too much time on that, but yeah. Um and let's see. We have Nessa. Hey Nessa, good to have you here. And Kimberly, she says, I'm here. What did I miss? I don't know. um, and thank you, Freaky Geek, for encouraging Becky. Thank you so much. Um, and and Felicia, glad you're here. Um, and Stephanie says, have faith in all you do. Keep praying and leave all your anxieties to the Lord, and all will be well. Exactly, that's it. Because we're called to be anxious for nothing, and one of the epistles, I think that's in Philippians, Apostle Paul talks about that. But just be thankful. And doesn't mean that you also have to be, gentle as a dove, but wise as a serpent. So yeah, this world is a little tricky. And thank you, Terry. She's our Arturnay. So say I will pray for the person on that. See, they probably can't even crochet. Well, I do have it from them that they actually just took pages out of a magazine and are selling the individual pages as the patterns. Whether they're actually, uh, I don't know. Anyway, either way you look at it, it's not legal. So that's all I got to say. Um, all right, so I'm hoping I'm not skipping anybody. Lynn, it's good to see you in the chat. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's 12:52. But anyway, Lynn, thank you so much for being there. She says, thank the Lord for you, Sister Bonnie and Crochet family. Thanking Jesus for his grace being upon missionary. She is the senior mother, sister in the body of Christ. Oh, thank you so much, Lynn. Just I love the way you care for so many people. And I hope your friend that you asked me to pray for a while back, I hope she's doing well with the kidney issue. Please let me know, because would love to hear some progress there. And thank you all for your kind words. Let me look at my schedule here and see if I got anything else I do want to talk about. Oh, I have one more thing I can show you. I showed this to you last week, but for those of you who are new or haven't seen it yet, the jumbo braided scarf will be coming soon. I sent the written pattern off to the editor and just waiting for her to get back to me. And this is using just one cake of yarn. And this is what I used. Again, you don't have to use this specific yarn. You can use anything you have in your stash. This is a number 5 or a bulky weight yarn, but it's going to be fun. It's just the right size where it can be a warm scarf. It can actually, wrap around a bit. You can do a lot with it. Let me see. Make sure the front side is facing. There we go. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do with it. And if you wanted to, I guess you could even make it into an infinity scarf, but I chose not to do that. So anyway, this will be coming out probably sometime in October. So stay tuned. We got lots and lots of new things coming to get you ready for the holidays that are coming. Yeah, we do think about that early because we're crafters, right? We have to get a jump on that. I did want to say, oh yeah, there's a uh, I asked you all on Facebook about fingerless gloves. I tried finding a pair to show you, but I give those away as gifts. So I don't have any of the ones I actually made. I'm looking around. Do I have them? Do I have them? No, I don't have them in my stash here anymore. But fingerless gloves, you know what I'm talking about. If you have crocheted for even a day, you know what those are. Um, and I just wanted to ask people, yay or nay, what are your thoughts? And this is not totally scientific, but my estimate is it's about 95% yay, about 5% nay. And it's okay if you don't like these. I love you anyway. I personally don't wear them, which is why I asked, is this worth designing some more? Although I think I would like to try wearing them maybe this year. I don't like to have anything on my hands at all. And I reluctantly wear gloves when it's like, 20 degrees and below when I go outside. But, sometimes it's worth having them. But I just like to have my hands, skin on the steering wheel when I drive, just to be able to control things best. Um, but I want to thank you all for responding so overwhelmingly. I mean, I got well over 120 responses on the Facebook page. And so I am going to try to design some fingerless gloves. I will hope to get those done and out before the holidays. And my thoughts on that are this. Fingerless gloves are a fantastic way to use sock weight yarn. Not necessarily this particular color, but the real thin number 1 weight yarn. A lot of times, some of us will be at fiber festivals and we'll see this gorgeous hank of yarn. They call these hanks because you have to wind them up on your ball winders or anyway, or you can wind them by hand. But a lot of times what happens is we buy this gorgeous hank of one yarn and we're like, what can we do with just one? You know, it's like, well, I guess you can't even make a scarf because it's not enough. These are usually around 400 to 400, anywhere from 400 to like 400 and, 25, 450 yards, which is a nice amount, but it's hard to know what to make. You can make a hat with it. But what you can do with usually one hank of yarn is you can make fingerless gloves. You can make a nice pair, even cabled fingerless gloves. I've done it. And I've even made some where taking 400 yards, I can make 2 gloves or a pair of fingerless gloves and have enough left over for a headband to match. So something to think about. So I definitely will be trying to come up with this. Okay, so somebody wants to know where can they find, okay, the pattern. Well, let me go ahead. Is it here? Do I have it here? Give me 1 minute. I'll go get the book and show you. All right. Okay. The pattern is here in the Celtic Cable crochet book, and I'll even show you a picture with a model wearing one. How about that? Okay. And this is the beanie cardigan. And see how she has the pin right there. She didn't pin it very high. But you can, experiment with that. And this, again, the back. And this is using different yarn in the book, which is no longer available. That happens a lot. And here's another picture of this being modeled. Okay, so this is the book, Celtic Cable Crochet. And this is 8 years old now. It's been coming up on its 8th anniversary. I'll have to keep an eye on that one. So anyway, so I just wanted to thank you all for participating in my poll, my unscientific poll on fingerless gloves. I definitely have them on my list. Be thinking about that as we go forward with design work. And that's a small enough design, it would probably be easy to come up with one. And in case you are looking for some anyway, I do have some in the video on my channel, on my homepage. If you just go to the playlist, you can look for the gifts, the quick gifts for Christmas, or just there's a quick gift list there somewhere where you can do things very quickly. All right, let me go ahead and see. Hey, Carol, so glad that you could be here. I am finally getting to your comment. And thank you all for your love on the, I guess it's from the throw. All right, thank you all again for the thumbs up on the video. I so appreciate that. And let's see. Thank you, Betty, for your kind little happy faces there. And I just love the way you all interact. And Freaky Geek says, Bonnie, when you do the video tutorials for both left and right-handed work, do you flip the video for the southpaws? That's exactly what I do. Yeah, you're seeing the flipped image of the right-handed version. Some people think I am ambidextrous. No, I am not that smart. I am not that versatile. No. But it's just, yeah, you're right. It's just a flipped image. So when I upload, two different versions of everything that I do. I'm not a left-hander, but I'm told that it does help those who are. So I will continue to do that. And all right. I may not be able to get to everybody's comment, guys, because it is already 1 o'clock. Stephanie has a good question. Would you prefer us to purchase patterns on Lovecrafts rather than other sites? It really makes no difference to me, Stephanie. It really is up to you. I think Lovecrafts may have a library that you can. I mean, I need to verify this. I think that might be an easier site for you. They are. My experience has been they're smaller. It's a UK-based company, and they respond to customer service. So, yeah, I think I do prefer Lovecrafts over Etsy. But that being said, it's mostly because Etsy is so much larger, and I've not had personal interaction with anybody who run the organization of Etsy, but I have had excellent customer service response from Lovecraft. So if you anticipate any issues with downloads and stuff, I think Lovecraft would be the preferred place. And I am trying to upload in both places going forward, because I know there are a lot of people who are, it's two different worlds of people. But anyway, yeah, I have enjoyed working with Lovecrafts for sure. So thanks for asking that question. And Denise says, I have leaflet More Fisherman Crochet by, Anne Rabin. Oh, love the patterns. Yeah, that's exactly the person that was my original inspiration, Denise. If it wasn't for her patterns, I don't know that I would have really continued my crochet journey when I was, back, 10, 12 years old. Well, I was more like 15, 16 by then. But by the time I went to college, I had discovered her patterns and was in absolute love with them. Yeah, so let me just check in to make sure there's nobody. And Kathleen says, one day, can you give a teaching in when the last stitch counts as a stitch and the same for the first stitch? Always confuses me. Yeah, that's a good question for the pattern writing class that I'll be doing, Kathleen. But basically, if it's a chain, it depends on who's writing the pattern, whether it counts as a stitch or not. Yeah. So that is oftentimes pattern specific. If it's me, 9 times out of 10, it does not count as a stitch. But yeah, I understand where the confusion is. And then working in the turning chain. Yeah, that's I understand. That can be very confusing. And that's why I try to be specific with that with my patterns. I write that out so that there's no doubt, or I try to on my good days. And Sandra, thank you so much for your kind, kind word. You stay blessed too, my friend. Um, yeah. We have Colette says, first time watching you live, contemporary Celtic crochet opened me up to Celtic needlework. Wow. Currently making a Celtic wedding shawl. Oh, I would love to see that. Ooh. Um, and thank you so much, Betty, for being. I can't read your comment because I don't speak your language. Apparently, I don't speak French very well, and I don't read it at all. But thank you so much for being here. And Stephanie says she likes the blue one. Well, the blue one, that's the Quadro Triticale. That's the my Star Trek scarf. And that's again on my homepage. If you go to that, you'll be able to find it. And Nessa says, I use fingerless gloves a lot because my hands get cold very often from having Raynaud's disease. The cold make them hurt. Okay, but I like to not have fingers covered so I can use my phone. Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear online that a lot of people use them for medical reasons. You know, it just makes them be able to function, stay warm. And I know taking care of my mom, she had that problem too. Just as we age, we have a harder time regulating our body temperature, whether we get too hot or too cold or whatever. And that's where the fingerless gloves are a godsend to a lot of people. And I will continue to make them. I just wanted to. I hadn't seen them in a while. I haven't seen them out in the crochet universe, so I just wanted to, just ask people, how you feeling about these things now. And Darlene, thank you for that question again. Um, and Felicia says she makes those fingerless gloves for other people. That's wonderful. All right. I do need to get going, but I want to read something to you. I told you a couple weeks ago, I think I'm making my way through the Bible and I'm down to like the last four prophets in the Old Testament, which is kind of cool. Words that you don't hear very often, like Habakkuk. And so I'm going to read from the Bible, from the Old Testament. And this is reading from the book of Habakkuk, which is a minor prophet. Minor in the sense that it's a small book, but not to say that his words are any way diminished. And this is from the third chapter, verses 17 through 19. I just wanted to read this. It just really spoke to me, especially when you know, times that we're in now are not nearly as bad as they were for him and when he was writing this, but I just love his heart in this situation. So this is what he writes. Though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food, the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. God, the Lord, is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer. He makes me tread on my high places. So I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I look forward to seeing you next. God bless. Bye bye.